Y'all know when that Hopvine Bling.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Dylan.
And I'm Tim. And today we have Stillwater Artisanal Ales is Hopvine Bling, if you couldn't tell by his riffing in the beginning, and the gloriously labeled beer here, that Hopvine Bling over and over and over. It is a dry hopped Berliner Weisse with Sauvignon Blanc grapes.
And I imagine Nelson Sauvin hops by the guess. If they use grape juice, they had to.
Maybe. It's 5% ABV, and it is brewed and bottled for Stillwater Artisanal at Crazy Mountain Brewing Company in Denver, Colorado. It's contract brewed.
Stillwater's from Denmark, I believe.
Yes. And it is distributed by 12% LLC.
Much like every other imported beer.
Every single beer. So,
it looks really lemony, and it smells really lemony.
It is probably 6 months old at this point.
Unless they brewed a recent batch.
We don't know. They did brew one around the time we reviewed I Missed the Old Kanye, but at the same time...
That was months ago.
That was a long time ago.
And I Missed the Old Kanye was a sour porter.
I Missed the Old Kanye was in August. It is now March. So, hopefully the...
Brettanomyces.
Yeah, hopefully the Brett can keep this going for a little bit.
I don't know why I roll my R on the Brettanomyces.
But
Brettanomyces. It makes it easier to pronounce.
Let's do the smell. Funk. There's so much funk, dude.
Funk, lemongrass.
Uh-huh.
Coriander smell.
Yep. It's almost like...
I smell the grapes.
There are definitely grapes in it.
I smell Nelson Sauvin hops. I mean, they have to use Nelson Sauvin.
I would assume so. It would accentuate the grape flavor.
Yes. And the sour flavor. All sours and saison should be hopped with Nelson.
It smells like a sour should smell. It's very funky.
Okay, I'm going to reiterate. Sour ales are much like IPAs.
Yep.
In a certain way. Berliner Weisses are the blonde ale of the sour category.
Correct.
Double dry hop blondes are fucking crazy.
They are.
So like... A Berliner Weisse can be just as crazy. And Stillwater, in terms of shelf beer, shelfies, hashtag, is very, very popular amongst even like the craft beer drinkers.
Because they do some weird stuff.
That works most of the time. Their sours are loved by many.
Yep.
Much more than other breweries are. Just like Evil Twin Stouts are loved by many.
Yep.
Stillwater is known for their sours. Let's get into the taste.
Let's taste it.
It's very light.
As a Berliner Weisse it should be.
Yes. But with the grapes, I expected more a powerful tartness.
True.
I mostly get the Brett. The Brettanomyces is definitely there. I don't get any grape on the taste, which is weird.
It's mostly like...
It could be old and it could have faded by now.
Correct.
Not 100%, but it will have.
Yeah, we'll have a little bit for sure, but the Brett generally keeps things together a little bit.
I don't know about fruit. If it's a fruit beer, obviously it's going to like a lambic, but
right.
if it's a Berliner Weisse brewed with fruit, these beers aren't meant to keep that long. They're not, even with Brett, they're not meant to keep for like 7-8 months. Right. This is probably their max. So if this is really that old, that's why it is the way it is.
Right. It is a little grapey. It does have a grape flavor. It's very subtle.
I just think it's kind of, it's one of the least impressive Stillwater offerings I've had.
Right. It's a very standard Berliner Weisse.
Yeah.
It's tart.
But there's not a whole lot of flavor going on. Right.
Which might be down to the age. So
yes.
we will let it do its thing.
I'll take that into effect if we rate it and it hasn't changed.
Sure. We'll be right back. Alright, so we're back to our final thoughts on Stillwater Artisanals.
Hopvine Bling.
It says, start wearing less and go out more next to the barcode, so it's a nice play on the song.
Nice reference to Wheelchair Jimmy.
That too. I don't know. I like it.
That's natural sentiment. I didn't pour any in my glass.
Oh, that's right, because you mixed some random shit into this. No, it didn't affect the taste, but I like it a lot. I think that it's a very well done Berliner Weisse. I think that it's a little old, and I'm sure it was a little more bitter. It was a little hoppier when it was fresh.
Ignore my phone.
I think the hops have probably faded by now because it is, it was brewed on the same time as the old Kanye was, which was in like August. So it's like 6 months old, but all things considered, it's held up very, very well. And it just tastes like a Berliner Weisse that's got some great flavors in it, to be honest. And I dig that.
Mellowed out.
It's very mellow for a Berliner Weisse. Actually, no, it's not. It's right on par for Berliner Weisse. It's mellow for a dry hopped Berliner Weisse.
I thought it was just Weiss, but okay.
German pronunciations, they're weird. But
I talked to Derek, okay.
it's a very, very good, well done beer. I enjoy drinking it. I would actually buy this again and just kind of drink it. It's very easy drinking.
Maybe mowing the lawn on like a summer's day. It's not very good in the wintertime. It's not what I'm reaching for now.
No, but this would be refreshing as crap in the summer, It's not unlike...
But I could drink a Treehouse Pale Ale.
Right, because this is a very light body beer. It's 5%, and it's a very light bodied beer. But
there are other Berliner Weisses I would reach to.
Correct.
That probably cost at a bomber price about the same as this.
Dude, bombers make beers so expensive, which is a whole different rant, so we're not going to touch on that right now. But I think it's pretty well done. I would have loved to have actually had it fresh, but I think it's really well done as it is.
They do a lot of one-offs, and with one-offs, the only good thing about them is you can tell when they were brewed.
Yeah.
Roughly.
You're not wrong.
When you see what most of the reviews are, you can get a rough time estimate.
Mm-hmm.
That shit at the bottom, mine's fucking weirded me out. It's like brown compared to the yellow.
Yeah, I mean, if you mix it, it mixes up with the haze.
Mm-hmm.
It's just particulate. Back to that floater video.
I think it's yeast more than anything in this one.
Yeah, it's particulate. It's yeast particulate.
Bread, yeah. It leaves my throat kind of dry, which I don't like.
Yeah, I think that's the Brett thing.
It doesn't do that to me normally. I can drink plenty of saisons.
Okay.
Maybe it's just the grape.
Could be that too. It's an incredibly grapey
I don't
beer.
like juice in a beer. I like puree in a beer,
And
which
this
is
juice.
It's a big difference.
It is a very big difference.
I don't like Trillium dialed in for the same reason. It's got Pinot grease juice and stuff.
Okay.
And Chardonnay. Same reason it leaves a cloyingly dry feeling in my throat, which I can't get rid of for a little bit after.
I can do that. A lot of white wines are very dry, so that's a very similar
But
thing.
so are a lot of IPAs. Not nowadays, but they used to be.
No, a lot of West Coast still are very dry. It's just the East Coast and New England style.
But they're not so dry that it keeps your throat dry.
Correct.
You'll be able to drink it and it'll go away, and then it'll come back and you'll drink it and it'll go away. This is more like a cloyingly is a horrible word, but it makes the most sense in this scenario for me. It stays with you.
Right.
Like a cloying sweetness stays. Cloying dryness to me is a horrible phrase of words, but it holds the same meaning and it stays with you.
Right.
This does that to me. And I think that's the only flaw, necessarily.
Right. I think as is, it's actually perfectly drinkable. Whereas, like, most older beers, like, we had that Wicked Weeds that we were going to review tonight, but it was a month old, and it was so old that we decided not to drink it because the taste was already so bad. It was already falling off.
Yeah.
This is actually drinkable.
Yes.
It's it's not the fact that, yeah, it's not as good as it would have been fresh, which is a thing, but it's drinkable. The fact that we're able to actually drink it, and that's crazy.
Brett.
Yep, Brett is a thing. Anyway, you already kind of did your final chug, so I mean,
I have a teeniest bit.
that was very grapey.
Not sour, but
Grapey.
too much gravy.
Big sips. You get that very predominant grapey flavor.
Yes.
This is one of those beers that I could say really does taste. It has a really winey character to it.
I don't know if it has the juice taste from the grapes that other beers have that have like wine juice.
Yeah.
Like wine. but wine grape juice
Yep.
in it. But this is there.
Yes, it's definitely there. I can say that most beers, when they say, "Oh, it tastes like white wine," I don't really get that. In this, I do. In this, I can definitely. It's more how it leaves your throat feeling. But
I'm a red wine guy, so that would explain why I'm not the biggest fan.
I like red wine myself. White wine, I'm not a huge fan of either, really. But I'll drink wine. Wine is fine. But I'm just gonna rate it. I think I'm gonna give it a solid 85. I think that's a good score for it.
82, 83.
Okay,
Maybe.
a little bit lower. I think it's
I think it's an A or a B. I mean,
I think it could be a low A fresh, like fresh. It could be a low A. But I definitely think the hops have faded a bit.
I would again like to think they hopped this with Nelson. If they didn't, they're stupid. It's true. It's true. If you're putting fucking Sauvignon and grape juice in it, it deserves.
They do interact very well together as far as flavor profile goes.
So, I would agree. Fresh is probably more complimentary than it is nowadays.
Yep.
And I would probably give it an A minus at that
Probably
point.
a 90 to 94 if it was fresh.
I'd probably still give it like a 90 at highest. For
Low
me.
A's.
It's not for me.
But, yeah.
There are other beers I prefer in this style.
Correct.
We don't talk about Never Never Again.
No, we don't. That's never happening again. That's what it's called. Never again. But no, I think solid overall. You know, it was a good effort.
It's not the best beer they make.
Nope.
I know they're renowned for making probably some of the best package store beers that you can buy everywhere for the most part. You know?
Yeah.
Like their package store beers are available like probably fucking 80% of states, you know?
Do you remember a Saison Darkly? Can we not talk? Let's not talk about that. The review's up on YouTube anyway.
It's a bad beer.
It was terrible, but a
Um,
lot of other stuff from them has been really
but
good.
they're experimental.
Yeah.
You expect a couple misses.
Yeah.
I think they have better offerings. What is it? Something Wild?
Yep. I don't know what you're talking about, but yep.
Go Sagan Wild series is fantastic. I've had several of those that were fucking amazing. Buy those over this. And it's a Gosa, so it's even lighter
Yeah.
than a Berliner Weiss is. In retrospect, Gosas tend to be like 4 to 5.
Yeah, they're very
Berliner
light
Weisses
beers.
can vary more.
5 to 6-ish.
These are much better. Search for some of the weirder beers, you might like them. You might even love a Saison Darkly.
I'm really hoping they brew at Misty Old Kanye again sometime soon.
It's a porter. It's like an imperial porter, actually.
It's a
It might stay
sour
light.
porter, bro.
It's an imperial sour porter. It might stay good.
Please watch our review of that just because it's called a Mr. Old Kanye. It's wonderful. But
Overall, solid effort.
it's a solid beer. It's a very solid beer. Even if you buy it now, it's a solid beer.
There are better beers they make.
Yep.
Even some of their stouts are better than this. Wow, I can't remember the name. But it's there.
Wrap it up.
Overall, probably like 82.5, 83.
Cool.
Together, combined effort.
That's
and
a solid
it's
score.
a decent beer. I mean, for a bomber price, I don't fucking know if you want to buy it. Bomber prices are stupid. I think we can all agree on that. But it's worth a shot to try. If your buddy has it, if you want to buy it to split with your buddy, try it. With that, we'll see you next video. Am I not wrong?
No, you're not wrong.